Hello, everyone. Jason Hagholm here, and I am joined by UFC Featherweight and just a few days away from having a real big fight against Gavin Tucker. This is Billy Quarantillo. Billy, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, man. Thanks for having me.
Well, obviously, Billy, you made the trek out to Vegas for your fight, and more importantly, today's an important day. It's your birthday, so once again, happy birthday! And how's it been being, in fight camp on your birthday when you know you can't have any into the sweets?
Yeah, it's been it is kind of how it usually is. Usually, I'm in a training camp around this time, so I've known for probably about 5 weeks now that I was probably going to be traveling on my birthday. So it's all good. I'm planning on celebrating next week, after the fight. So we still got some work to be done. So I'm excited to be in Vegas, and we'll get after it after the fight.
Yeah, this is a real exciting fight in one of my favorite divisions, the featherweight division. I mean, how excited are you that you actually get to fight Gavin Tucker, a guy where you guys were supposed to meet earlier in the year, then COVID kind of messed it up, but now you finally get to step inside the octagon on Saturday night against Gavin?
Oh yeah, I couldn't be more excited. We were already game planning for him in about April, and then of course COVID happened and they canceled the fight. It was supposed to be in Nebraska, which I wasn't necessarily thrilled for. I've never been there. It probably would have been cool, but now looking back on it, it would have been really cool because there would have been a bunch of fans there, and now we're fighting in the Apex. So yeah, they rebooked it. Gavin said he wanted the fight still, and when I saw that, I was still scheduled to fight Kyle Nelson. So I kind of had him on the back burner. And when I was able to finish Kyle, I knew Gavin was next. So let's do it.
Well, you talk about, you would have fought in Nebraska originally and, with fans, and now you've had two fights in the Apex. How have you made the adjustment, or has it really been that much of a change, or is it just still like, hey, it's a fight, right?
Yeah, the first time we came out here with the Spike Carlisle fight, it was definitely different. We right now I'm actually quarantined alone in my hotel. That's why I was able to do this interview. And the first time I came out here was definitely different. They basically COVID check you, and you basically have to stay in your hotel for the full day. Hopefully get a negative result tomorrow, and then be able to work out and do some stuff, and basically weigh in on Friday and do another COVID test. But yeah, at this point, this is my fourth time here. I fought here twice, and then I came out here Matt Frivola's fight when I actually tested positive. And so this is actually my fourth time here. So it feels like I've spent a lot of time here this year. It's almost 4 weeks now that I've spent here total. So right now it feels like my second home, and it feels very comfortable. And I think I'm a lot more dangerous now because when we were first going to fight, I was 1-0 in the UFC. He had a lot more experience, but I kind of caught up with him with experience, and I'm really comfortable in this environment. So I think I'm a lot more dangerous now than I was before.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I mean, and you're coming off, a real exciting knockout against Kyle Nelson that kind of went viral right after it happened. And, you're fighting another Canadian, as we said, in Gavin. And you've kind of you're kind of an honorary Canadian. You grew up not too far from the border. You're a big Buffalo Bill fan, I see, and a lot of Canadians
Yep.
I know are Bill fans. So, it's kind of in a way, the way I'm looking at it, being a Canadian, it's an honorary Canadian versus a Canadian. And what's it mean to kind of get, another set of fans from a different country rooting you on as your career's really progressed, Billy?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. A lot of people would be like, "Oh man, the Canadians must hate you because you're always fighting their guys." But I've gotten a lot of support from Canadian people. A lot of Canadian fans have reached out to me, and they tell me they're rooting for me and they love following me. So I think it's really cool. I got nothing but respect for the Canadian fans, and it's just another fight for me. And I got to go out there and handle business and keep this thing going because this is what I dreamed about for most of my life. So to be in this position and to be able to go out there and have the year I'm having, I just feel super grateful. And I know what I got to do on Saturday, and I totally plan on getting it done.
Talking on the fight, you say you know what you got to do. What are you kind of worried about? Because Gavin had a real durable back and forth fight against Justin James in his last time out in the UFC. What are you expecting from Gavin, and do you expect this one to potentially be a fight of the night candidate?
Absolutely, yeah. Gavin's definitely the most dangerous guy I fought. He's very good on the feet. He's a black belt in jiu-jitsu, just like myself. And yeah, I'm expecting a dogfight. These are the type of fights where you lose a little bit of sleep over getting ready for. And I know I trust in myself and my coaches and my training partners. I've put in a lot of work to get to this point, and these are the type of fights that I've dreamed about. I know he trains with Faraz Zahabi, and I know he's one of the best fighters in the world. And if I want to consider myself one of the best fighters in the world, which I do, these are the fights that I need. And I need to go out there and get it done and go and finish this guy and show the rest of the world that I belong here and I belong in the top 15, top 20 in the world.
How excited are you, though, Billy? Because this is a big fight. It's on the prelims of a pay-per-view, but you're making that progression up the ranks. Where hopefully by next year you'll be opening up a pay-per-view or a pretty solid fight. I mean, that's got to make you feel great that you're not just on some fight night. You're on a show that's going to have a little bit extra eyes on it.
Yeah, this was definitely what I asked for, and I feel like the UFC is coming around to me a little bit. When I first got in the UFC, they were basically telling me it's going to be this way or that way. And now I've been able to, we basically said we want to be on a pay-per-view card, even if it's the prelims, because, that's how you get that experience. There's some big names on this card. I'm really excited to see what happens with like the Tony Ferguson fight and of course the main event. So yeah, this is what dreams are made of. And to keep this going, I need to go out there and perform like I've been able to do the last few fights.
Well, Billy, this card, just looking at it, though, you've mentioned, you're in quarantine, and there's been some, fights that have fallen out already this week because of COVID. I believe 3. What do you got to do to make sure that you and Gavin can avoid anything from that happening? Because we definitely want to see you and Gavin have that exciting fight come Saturday night.
Yeah, of course. So, I can't really do anything at this point. We've already passed our first COVID test, which was an at-home test we took last week. I'm waiting right now. I'll do a little prayer tonight because last time they called me right in the morning on Wednesday morning and told me that I tested positive for that Frivola fight. And yeah, there's really not much I could do. I'm basically just going to avoid everyone at this point. I have plans to work out at the PI by myself tomorrow. And yeah, that's pretty much it, man. It's the thing with COVID is you can't really predict it. You can't really predict who's going to get it or when someone's going to get it. I've heard a lot of people say that it's hard to get it twice. And I was, I've already had it once this year. So I'm really hoping that, I don't get it, but there's really not a lot I could do. I'm not going to hang out with anyone else, from now until the fight. And, hopefully it's a roll of the dice, but this was a risk that I had to take because I really want this, the spotlight, to be in this situation and all that other stuff. So it comes with it, high risk, high reward. And hopefully everything goes good on Gavin's part and we can make it on Saturday.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, obviously, and there's still so much unknown about the virus. So hopefully, if you just follow what they say, social distance, masks, and whatever, that you're able to, make past those tests and we see you fight. But, Billy, looking at what's going on with your career, some other opportunities have kind of come up for you as, you've been able to do some commentary for the Brazilian promotion SFT. They've been able to put on a show earlier this year in Miami, but they're now back in Brazil. But what's that like for you to get to, see the other side of things, be a part of the media, calling fights and, interviewing fighters post-fight? That's kind of an exciting second venture that could be something down the road for you.
Yeah, I love it. I absolutely love it. Everyone always asks me like, oh man, what are your hobbies? What do you like? And they always want to find out like what I do. But I've just been so obsessed with, the sport and, following my dreams and trying to get to the UFC and studying film. So to be able to get a secondary job, which is basically watching fights and calling them. Of course, I study my butt off and I'm trying to get better at it and trying, to perfect my craft, which is, doing this type of stuff, doing interviews and commentary. It's just a blessing to be able to do that and to be in the position I'm in, to be, on a great winning streak and to be in the UFC and be getting paid to do commentary, to watch fights. Yeah, it's just a great position and I'm going to make the most of it. And I got to keep doing what I've been doing, work my ass off and keep getting these wins.
What's been the biggest adjustment for you, doing commentary? Because, as someone, I do play-by-play for a promotion in Ontario and other play-by-play stuff, but a lot of people think it's just easy. You just come in there and talk, but it's totally not. What was the biggest adjustment for you, being behind the mic for SFT?
The biggest adjustment, I would say, so a lot of the names are obviously they're Brazilian and in Portuguese. So basically, it's a lot more work than you'd think. As I'm studying these fighters. I'm looking up all their information, and it's quick and it's on the fly. So it's a lot quicker. And then luckily, I have a great partner named Jay Adams. He's an Emmy award winning. Basically, he does it all. He's an anchor. He does commentary. He's actually commentated a bunch of my fights back in the day before I got to the UFC. So luckily having him as a great partner to go kind of back and forth with, I know him really well. But yeah, it's not always as easy as you think. And guys like John Anik and obviously Joe Rogan and Daniel Cormier and Paul Felder, they do such a great job that you don't even notice the difficulties of commentary.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think it's a craft that a lot of people take for granted, but when they actually are put in the position of potentially doing it, they really realize how skillful a lot of those guys are. Like you mentioned, the Annex and the Rogans are. Billy, just a couple more for you here. UFC announced for 2021 that the Ultimate Fighter's coming back, and I thought, what's a better guy to ask that's been not only on the Ultimate Fighter but on the Contender Series? Which was the experience you preferred more? And do you think they should have brought the Ultimate Fighter back? Because obviously it is an exciting show, but I feel the Contender Series is kind of the perfect way to get new talent in the UFC.
Oh yeah, that's a good question. So the Ultimate Fighter, I think I kind of needed to do that because it was such a crazy experience. At first, when I won my fight to get in, I was just blown away. Well, really, it started when I got selected for it, where I was like, "Oh my god, I can't believe they picked me out of all people." Because there was 500 people that tried out, and I was one of 18 people or something like that. And then to go on the show and being locked away in the house with all these other maniac guys, and to not have a cell phone, to not have any communication, and to only have that as my focus. It was definitely like a career changing 7 weeks. After I lost, it was kind of miserable. You just wanted to go home and lay in bed and forget about everything. But I think I needed that in my career to kind of see where I was at, to see what I needed to work on, to train with Uriah Faber and all the guys, Cody Garbrandt and TJ Dillashaw and Danny Castillo and Lance Palmer, and the list goes on. To be able to train with all those guys and kind of realize what they did, what their training was like, their mentality, and also to be isolated and to be kind of on my own for a while. It was definitely a career changing experience, which I needed. If I could not have done that and just avoid it and just do the Contender Series, I think that's a lot easier of a way to get into the UFC. It's just basically like a 1 day, one and done, and you go back home. So I think both were really important for me. I wouldn't want to go do TUF again. If they were like, "Oh, we do a TUF reunion," they would have to try to pay me a lot more, or I'd have to be in a really bad situation to do that, because it really was tough. Especially now, me and my fiance and my family and everything, it's really hard to be away from everyone. But it's a great experience, and whoever does it, you come out a much better fighter. And there hasn't been anything as difficult, like doing this 1 day quarantine with my cell phone and my computer is so much easier than 7 weeks, without your phone, without your significant other, without your family. It's very interesting, and I'm happy I did both. But the Contender Series is an easier way to get in the UFC.
Yeah, for sure. I think no one really understands the kind of the social, the self isolation, the mental games that it kind of plays, because you can't as you said, couldn't contact anyone away from the outside world. So that'll be back. It'll be interesting how they do it with COVID and everything, because can they even have a house? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not too sure either, but it's almost like because of the Ultimate Fighter, I feel like COVID was a little bit easier on me, because you fly out to Vegas now and you got to quarantine, you got to do this and that. And when I went to the Ultimate Fighter, like my first week that I was there, you basically fly into Vegas and they take your cell phone and they take everything right there. And then you go to a hotel and you're there by yourself with no cell phone or anything. So it's like, whoa, it hits you hard. And if you've gone a week without your cell phone now, we're all, I think, a little bit addicted to being able to communicate with people whenever we want. So that was definitely a wake up call, and something that I'll always look back on and kind of cherish.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, heck, if I go, an hour without my cell phone, sometimes I feel like a different person. But, Billy, last one before I get you out of here. I mentioned you're a Bills fan. How excited were you about that Bills win on Monday Night Football? I mean, team's 9-3 and really rolling towards the end of the season.
Oh man, I couldn't be happier with how the Bills are playing. I think we got our quarterback in Josh Allen to see like the media talking about how good he is, to seeing just random people like celebrities and stuff talking about Josh Allen, to be able to win a big Monday night game with all eyes on them. It's definitely a totally different team than what we're used to as Bills fans. And we had a good year last year, but I think the way Josh Allen has improved, having Stefan Diggs now and having the rest of the team they just look better. They look like they're supposed to be winning these games. And it's going to be an exciting last couple months of the season. And, as you may or may not know, the Super Bowl is going to be in Tampa Bay this year. So I'm not jinxing anything, but man, I'm going to be super excited about that. And hopefully good things happen and we're able to get it done.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a Bills fan myself, and it's still a little adjustment to get the positive talks about your franchise when you're so used to just negative comments. But I agree. Josh Allen, especially last night, he looked like an MVP caliber quarterback, and it's nice to see. And more importantly, Billy, it's nice talking with you. Best of luck on Saturday night against Gavin Tucker. Before I let you go, though, plug yourself on social media because you're one of the more active guys out there in the MMA social media community. So you're definitely a follow. So plug it out there, and best of luck on Saturday night.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, for sure. Thanks for having me. I know you tweeted out, and I was like, dude, I actually do have some free time on Tuesday. I try to stay on Instagram and Twitter as much as possible. Billy Q MMA, pretty easy to follow, and I do try to communicate with my fans as much as possible because it was a couple of years ago where no one gave a shit what I was doing. So I appreciate everyone who reaches out to me, comments, and likes all my stuff. So thank you guys.
All right, well, that's Billy Quarantillo. He'll be taking on Gavin Tucker in the early prelim main event on Saturday night at UFC 256. Billy, thanks for your time, and best of luck again on Saturday.
All right, thanks, man. Have a good one.
Yeah, you too.